So today's most important topic we have today is 2021 Sri Lanka, demand for social enterprises. So we have the right person to talk about this discussion and also inspire you towards a sustainable future and anticipate a success future in 2021 Sri Lanka. So I will invite Mr. Eranda Ginige, the founder of Social Enterprise Lanka, an ambassador of Democracy Earth, and he's an author of and a social entrepreneur and a public speaker. So welcome to Real Life Inspire Yourself Knowledge Forum 2020. So I'm very grateful and thankful to you joining us with today, and also volunteer to share your valuable experience and knowledge with Real Life Network. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Jasmine and the team. Thank you for inviting me to share my thoughts on sustainability and social enterprise on this really wonderful initiative that you have been doing every year now. So first of all, well done and congratulations on organizing this, and also doing this using online platforms even during this COVID crisis. So I'm really happy to be here and share my thoughts on sustainability and social enterprise.
Yes. So yeah, I must thank you and give you some kind of a small gratitude over you, because I'm here as a founder of Real Life because of you. I must tell you, because you are the person who inspired me to start with the social enterprise, become a social entrepreneur. So you are my teacher of this social enterprises. I have never learned it before. So that you are the one who actually gave me that knowledge. And that's why I thought of, since our last date of Inspire Yourself Knowledge Forum today, to invite you and deliver this knowledge to everyone in our country and also to the world. That's why we are using this online platform and sharing this valuable knowledge and some kind of advice, or maybe some initiative from as an entrepreneur, or maybe a person who is willing to take a career in entrepreneurship, to think something beyond that and have a better future in 2021 Sri Lanka. So give some insight about what is social entrepreneurship, and also share this knowledge, what you have shared with me also, so then they can also become more resources to the country.
Sure. Thank you, Jasmine, for the kind words. So let me use a couple of slides now I hope you all can see the screen.
Yes, it's a black and social issues. Yes.
Yes. So to understand social enterprise and social entrepreneurship, we have to understand what are social issues. That's where we start from, right? And if we sort of look around us, we have so many social issues, starting from at the smallest unit in the society, a family, from child abuse, domestic abuse, alcoholism, kind of issues, and then unsafe housing, and then unemployment, poverty, and then education. There are so many social issues from across the education spectrum. from primary level to school level to higher education level. And then in health space, we have so many issues, an issue that we are currently facing. And then if you sort of move on to a larger social, macro social view, we see, problems like issues like religious extremism, and lack of democracy, inequality, racism, kind of issues. And then if you look to our environment that we live in, we see a lot of environmental pollution, air pollution, garbage crisis, deforestation, and the list goes on like that, right? So, these are just what you see on the screen are just a few of the major social issues, social and environmental issues that we face around the world, not only in Sri Lanka, but all around the world. We are facing this. Even in the developed countries, these issues exist. So now, how do we solve these issues? Now, the traditional thinking is that the governments should intervene and solve these issues. It is their responsibility to do it. But we know that governments have not been successful in doing that. And then we have non-governmental organizations, what we call NGOs, in the donor space, trying to solve these issues. And we know that they have also not been able to solve these issues for at least for good 70 years now. So then the progressive-minded people ask the question: so then who can solve these issues? Who else can really solve these issues in a long-term way? And that is when they thought that maybe the business world, the businesses, the enterprise world, the entrepreneurs who have been very successful through their business approaches, business models and products and market-based approaches, maybe they have a solution, maybe their model can be used to solve these issues. And that's how social entrepreneurship was born in the world. Now, you can understand social entrepreneurship and social enterprises in this really easy activity. Now, it's not a a very difficult theory. I mean, on the x-axis you have what we call social or environmental impact. If it is a good impact on the society, if it is a good impact on the environment, then it is on the positive side. But if it is a harm, if it is harming the environment, if it is a negative impact on the society, then it's on this side, right? And then on the y-axis we have profit. So if the organization is generating profit, real cash profit, it's positive. And if it is not making profit, then it's on the negative side. So when you draw this axis like this, you get 4 quadrants, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we can try and see what kind of organizations will fall in each of these quadrants, right? So if we start with this first quadrant, in this quadrant we have organizations that are making profit, but they create problems and they harm the society, the environment, right? So if you really think who's doing that, we can safely say that most corporations, starting from multinational corporations, large corporations, even small and medium enterprises, businesses, they can fall here, because if they're making profit, then they're successful in profit sense, but they create a lot of problems in the society and the environment through their products, through their services, the way they treat their employees, the way they come up with business deals, in unethical ways, in their manufacturing and production processes, where they harm the environment, for example, and in the way that they deliver their services. They create issues and harm the environment and the society. So we can say most corporations, not all, but most corporations. And then who's in this quadrant? In the opposite quadrant, here we have organizations that does good to the society, it's good to the environment, but they are run at a loss, which means that they're not making profit. Now, those kind of organizations are obviously most NGOs. The common term that is used here is NGOs, but it's really the charities, the charity sector, the donor-funded sector. They do some good stuff in the society and the environment. They solve some problems and some issues, but they run at a loss because they don't generate any revenue, and they're dependent on funds that's probably coming from these corporations in the form of CSR funds, etc., or high net worth individuals, the owners of these corporations, foundations, and so on. So that's also not really solving the issue. Then who do we have here? Now, this quadrant is a very interesting quadrant, because here you have organizations that are creating harm to the society and the environment. They're doing, they're creating problems and issues in the society and the environment, but they also run at a loss, right? Can you think who's here? One can argue that most governments fall here, right? I mean, if you really think about it, a lot of the social and environmental problems that we face today are really created by the political infrastructure, the government, the people who make policy decisions in governments. They are the ones who have started these problems in the first place. I mean, right now we're really struggling with in Sri Lanka, we're really struggling with our forest cover, which is dwindling every year, which is reducing drastically every year. And there is an attempt for further destruction of the forests through government policies, which is going to create an environmental problem, right? And if you look at so many other countries, like for example Congo, where minerals are mined through child labor and really bad inhumane practices, they are creating problems. And climate change is created by government policies for to continue with oil and coal power sources. So governments can be here. But then who do we have here? In this quadrant, we have organizations that are making a profit, they're generating profit, and they are creating positive impact in the society and the environment. They may be solving a social or environmental issue, and they're creating social value, environmental value. If you have an organization like that, then you can call them a social enterprise. So there you have it. This really gives you an idea of, from an organization point of view, what are social enterprises. So from using this theory, this is the basis of social enterprise theory. And you can say that social enterprises are organizations that make positive social environmental impact and generate profit. That's the definition of a social enterprise. And this definition can be very broad. People have very strict definitions and very broad definitions, and I don't think we have time to get into that detail. Of course, we go through those definitions in detail and understand them in our proper workshops. But I just wanted to give you programs, training programs, workshops, mid-sized programs where we actually set up social enterprises in partnership with investors, all the way to some really big, massive projects like reality TV shows like Atpaura, which was a famous television show where we featured social entrepreneurs and impact investors and sort of gave this knowledge to the people. But we are nowhere close to the dream that we want to achieve, and we are still pursuing that. It's not an easy journey because a lot of people don't understand these modern concepts in Sri Lanka, but we keep pushing. So that's social enterprise. Now, I just want to mention the word, give a little bit of an understanding of the word sustainability. Because the moment somebody says sustainability, everybody thinks of green, right? Everybody thinks planting trees. That's what they think sustainability is all about. Well, I mean, planting trees and creating a livable environment is definitely part of sustainability, but that is not the actual meaning of sustainability. The word sustainability